right. Hello. Welcome to Just Flow for Tuesday. We're going to be doing a lot of hip kind of mobility work. We have both double and single flows and lunge patterns as well. So we're going to make sure we warm up our hips really good. So we're going to start down on the floor, on our belly, laying prone. And you can take your hands out in front of you, make a nice little forehead pillow there. And then kick up one leg, and we're gonna lift that leg up, keeping the hip down on the ground, and then open up that hip and reach for the floor with the toes. Keep the elbows down, keep the head neutral. And then slowly come back, hip touching first, then thigh, and then foot. And then we'll do each side switching back and forth. I don't know how that got twined all the way up, but so second foot, kick up that foot, lift up the knee, leave the hip on the ground, then reach up and over, head neutral, elbows down, rolling it back slow. We want to touch down that hip first, then knee, and then foot. And the other side, repeat. Nice and slow, coming back, squeezing the glute, controlling the hip. Lift and open. Four more. And last three, kick up the heel, lift and open. Nice and slow, hip, thigh, foot. Last two. And last one. And then go ahead, stretch your right arm up overhead, reach up that left foot up and over to roll over onto your back. Feet on the floor, having the knees up. Reach one foot across so that you've crossed your legs. Your ankle is across your thigh. And we're going to lift this foot off the floor. Opening up that hip. You can push on the thigh, not the knee joint, but the thigh gently. And if you can, hook underneath that leg on the other side. Keep the hips on the floor level. Deep breath, and when we exhale, push against your hands. Inhale and push. One more deep breath. And release back down to the floor and uncross. Switch sides, cross the leg. Pull that knee into the chest, push away, and if you can, hook underneath the knee, keeping the hips level. Pushing on the inner thigh. Exhale, push the legs against the hands. Inhale, relax a little deeper into your stretch. Exhale, push. Inhale, relax, one more. And release that back down to the ground. And uncross your legs. We're going to turn back over, quadruped. Hands and knees. Dig in the toes. We're going to push the hips up and back into a downward dog. Stretch out the heels, the hamstrings. It's like you're trying to spread your butt cheeks to the sky. And we're going to send one leg up, three-legged dog. Bring the knee forward into the chest and lay the back foot down on the ground flat. And we're going to come back into a hamstring stretch, straightening out this front leg. Hips nice and straight, back straight. And then we're going to come back forward. You can kind of scooch your front foot forward so you can keep your shin straight as you drive those hips down into the ground. Nice straight back, shoulders low. And then turn to the inside, stretching that adductor, keeping this foot flat on the floor. And turn back to the outside. Drop that knee, hands flat on the ground, either side of your foot. Lift up that back foot and push up back into your downward dog. We're going to do the other side. Three-legged dog into your low lunge. Drop that back foot and knee all the way down. Push back into hamstring stretch. Straight back, straight hips. And come forward. Scoot your foot forward in front so you can keep the shin at a nice right angle here. As you drive the hips down into the floor here, get a good stretch. Push your back foot into the floor. You can dig in the toe, turn to the inside, stretching that adductor here, keeping this foot flat on the ground. Walk it back. Drop the back knee, organize the hands and feet, lift up and back into downward dog. 2 more times each side. Leg up, low lunge, drop the back knee, back foot, push back into hamstring stretch. And walk it forward, scooch forward the front foot, drive down, straight back, low shoulders, walk it to the inside, stretch that adductor. Walk it back and send it back. Into downward dog, second side. Three-legged dog. Low lunge, drop the back knee, drop the back foot. Into hamstring stretch. Scooch the foot forward, drive into the ground. Straight hips. And walk to the inside. And send it back one more time each side. We'll really flow through this round. Three-legged dog, low lunge. Drop the knee, drop the foot. Hamstring stretch. Come forward. Scooch the foot, drive into the ground. And turn to the side. And back in to downward dog. Last time, last side, three-legged dog. Low lunge, drop the back foot. Hamstring stretch. Come forward. Adductor stretch. And send it out. Excellent. Bring it down to the floor again, laying on our backs. So to make sure we can touch our ankles, and you can just kind of have your hand on the ankle or on the heel there. Keep the hand on the heel. We're going to reach up with our arm and our hips at the same time. And then keep reaching with the arm and up with the hips, so don't leave those hips down there. Really extend as you reach overhead, and you're going to roll onto the shoulder, which is still touching your heel. Bring it back down, down with the hips. Grab your other ankle, and then arm up, hips up, and then roll and reach over. And then back down. We're going to do 6 more. Hips up, reach. And 3 more. Arm up, hips up, reach. And last one. All right. From here, Okay, we're gonna grab 2 kettlebells and do a whole little complex with them. We'll just go through it together since it's a lot of pieces, and we're gonna do 2 and then come back to that glute bridge with our reach. So start in a straddle like so. So you have your sit bones. We're gonna have our kettlebells front racked, up, elbows down. It's part of your core and your torso. While you're sitting here, we're gonna press overhead once, then pull the legs to the side to organize both legs 90-degree angles, lean forward, press up with the hips, and we're gonna press overhead again. Now we're gonna swing this leg forward into a half kneeling position, press overhead, just keep the front rack, step forward and up into standing. Sorry, you can't see my head. And then switch your leg on the way back down. So if I stepped up with this right leg, when I step down, I have my left leg forward. In your half kneeling, we're gonna press again. Now, foot flat, both knees down, kneeling, press, lean forward, slowly reach the butt, and back to straddle, press. All right, we're gonna do it again. Shin box to the side, lean forward, kneeling, press, swing your leg forward, half kneeling, press, up to standing. Sorry, you can't see me, press, switch the leg on the way back down, half kneeling, press, feet flat, kneeling, press, and down to the floor, straddle, press. All right, kettlebells down, and then we'll do our glute with overhead reach stretch again. Let's see, maybe I can get a little bit of a better view so you can see more. I wonder, sorry, putting some appendages. Maybe this will be better. Can't see the floor though. That's not good. You would think I would. Actually, that'll be nice. Okay. Down to the floor. Glute bridge with ankle grab, where we're gonna reach up overhead. Oh, now you can't see me on the floor. Great, awesome. Anyway, hips up, arm up, reach and roll over. We're doing 8, 2, and 3. Hips up, 4, and last 4, 3, 2, and 1. And coming up to straddle. This is where the camera view is better, hopefully. So we're seated, straddle, sit. We're gonna press overhead, knees to the side, lean forward, press up with the glutes, press, half kneeling, press, standing up, oh, still back, press, and switch coming back down, press, and feet flat, kneeling, press, lean forward, sit, back to straddle, press, and shin box, lean forward to kneeling, press, half kneeling. Oh, I'll try to fix this camera angle. And standing, reverse. I don't know why I'm off my camera angle game today. And finishing, straddle, press. Rest. We got one last set of those 2 while I attempt a third. camera angle. Balancing yoga blocks. I think it needs to be okay. All right, head's cut off, that's okay, maybe. Third and last set, starting with that glute bridge. Come on down. Reach for those ankles. Pop the hips up, arm up, and reach over for 8, 7, 6, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. And grab those kettlebells, and get into your straddle. So straddle sit, press, shin box to the side, kneel, press, half kneeling, press, standing up, and then reverse back down, press, kneeling, press, and straddle, press, back to kneeling, press, half kneel, press, standing and reverse, press, kneeling, press, and one more for straddle, press. All right, kettlebells down, rest, and we have another superset with a little bit of time involved. So first one is 45 seconds with a single kettlebell. We're gonna hold upside down, halo, and then we're gonna step back, chop, and then come back, halo again, chop to the other side. So if I go up around my left side, comes around my right, and then I chop down to the left. So it makes this natural spiral. All right, we have 45 seconds of work, back and forth. We're gonna follow it up with kind of a new pattern. So hinging over from the hip, keeping the back nice and straight. We're gonna pull this up and then quickly transition sides. Pull it up, transition. So you're doing a quick little handoff. All right, this is practice for our next flow. We're also gonna do that for 45 seconds. So let's get our timer and get started. So starting with that halo and chop. Have your kettlebell upside down, bottoms up. Circle around the head, step back, chop. Circle around the head, chop. As you get a hang of this pattern, you can work it with a little more momentum. Always chopping over your forward knee. Keep that knee stable. Don't let it cave in. Last 15 seconds. Last 10. Big stretch overhead. And reset the timer for 45 seconds. Hinge over from the hip, meaning nice straight back. Pull and transfer. And think about getting a good open chest. When you pull right here, open that up. Think like you're pulling a lawnmower. Does anybody do that anymore? Halfway, 22 seconds. Keep that core tight. Right up in here, right there, so that our low back is safe. Glutes engaged. Last 10 seconds. And we're gonna rest. Take a 20-second break for our arms and shoulders, and then we have 2 more rounds going through that chop, and then back to our switch. Let's get a little more hyphy dance music. All right, 45 seconds on the clock. Get those goblets ready, and we're gonna halo around, step back, chop over that forward leg, chop. Take your time with the halo. You can go slow. Last 20 seconds. Last 10. In 3, 2, set the clock again, hinge it over, and pass. Focus on your core, keeping it all tight in there. Feel it warm up. Keep those hands loose. Quick pass off side to side. Last 15 seconds. And kettlebells down, rest. We're gonna do one last round. Is that a better view? Somewhat. All right, here we go again. 45 seconds. Halo and lunge. Around the head, chop. Keep the core engaged. You're using that core to help balance so we don't fall over when we chop. Watch out for ponytails. Halfway. And 15 seconds. 7, 6, and resetting our clock, hinge it over, and pass. Halfway, 20 seconds. Hands nice and light. Pull that lawnmower cord. Last 10 seconds. And resting. All right, take a longer 30. We're going to be switching gears and putting this flow into play. So, that row switch we just did, we're going to be adding it to a new way to switch sides left to right other than just doing like a switch with a swing. So, with our single arm, we're going to do a deadlift, up, down, and then we're going to transfer, clean up for rotational clean. Remember, turning, squish the bug with this toe, squish that bug as you roll out and pull it back in. So it's gonna roll off the wrist. Let it flow with you as you twist back. And then right here, you're gonna pull it up, back into a front rack, just like that lawnmower pull almost, but straight up. So to repeat the whole flow, deadlift, up, down, row to switch, clean, rotational clean, and then we come back, deadlift, up. All right. So, are we ready? Just like we always do, I'm going to call it out for the whole first round. We have 60 seconds. So get those kettlebells. You can start with the kettlebell on the floor. One arm, come down, deadlift all the way up, halfway down, switching that row, then clean it up to the shoulder, and we're going to rotational clean, and then twist back to center, deadlift, up, sorry, down, row to switch, clean, rotational clean, and back to center, down, deadlift, down, row switch, clean, rotational clean, center, down to deadlift, up, and row switch, clean, rotational clean, last 15 seconds, center, deadlift, up, down, back to center, deadlift, and 4, 3, go ahead, rest. Take a 30. So the second round, I'm just going to call out halfway, as per usual. That's too high. Can't get it perfect. Well, that's certainly not perfect. That's a little better. Did we find something useful? Can't see my feet. Can't win today. Okay, this is okay. I'm kind of in the corner a little bit cramped. Right here. Okay. Kettlebell on the ground in between your feet. We're going to start with that deadlift, all right? 1 minute. Come down. Deadlift all the way up. Halfway down. Row to switch. Clean it up. Rotational clean. Center. Deadlift. Up. Row. Clean. Rotational clean. Center. Deadlift. Up. Row. Clean. Rotational clean. Center, deadlift, up, row, last 30 seconds, you're on your own. Remember, breathing is important. Last 10 seconds. And 3, 2, resting. 30 seconds. We got one more round with this flow, where I'll just call out the first round each side, and then we're all going to flow on our own. If you need water, hit it up now. All right, last time we're really gonna flow. Flow. 1 minute. I'm only going to call out the first round each side. Here we go. Start out, deadlift, up, halfway, row to switch, clean, rotational clean, center, deadlift, and row to switch, clean, rotational clean, center, deadlift, you're on your own. Remember, power's in the hips. Hips. And load the hips. Last 15 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring it in. Rest. All right. You're going to be moving on. New flow. So we're going to do a different kind of switch again. We're kind of experimenting with some hand switches as well. So we've got a little handoff, which we've worked on before, where we're going to add in a bench press. So we have our rotational swing. So this time, instead of punching out, we're actually going to let it fall this way. Sorry, we're going to go both ways, but we're going to initiate with the reverse. So same rotational swing or rotational clean that we were just doing, but instead of punching it out, we're going to let it fall from this side. So letting it fall and then swinging it up and in. When we switch sides, we're switching our hands after that transition. So I've let it roll out, swing, bring it back in, and then when I switch, cup my hands, cup my other hand over the hand that's already on the kettlebell, roll the kettlebell over, and now it's switch sides, front rack to the other side. So I think that's the trickiest part. So once we do that transition, so I've let it fall, swing, bring it in, transition. Now that I've transitioned sides, the kettlebell's kind of already going this direction. Keep my feet planted, keep twisting. We're going to press up, hips neutral, feet flat, as I reach for the ground, keeping back straight. Little bent press here. So you want to make sure you're reaching your hand in between your 2 feet. So just like so. You don't have to reach to the ground. You can just go as low as you can go comfortably without rounding through the spine. So to repeat, this one's a little complicated just because of the nature of this rotation work. So let it fall out, swing, pull it in, switch hands, keep turning, bent press. And then again, let it fall out, roll, swing it in. Sorry, I'm confusing myself. Rotational swing, reverse clean, bent press, handoff. Rotational swing, bent press, and then handoff. Oh yeah, same way. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting confused with myself. We're going to let it fall out, bring it in, switch off hands, go into my bent press. When I come back down, let it fall out again, swing it back in, switch sides, turn back into bent press. So it's over here, let it fall down, swing it around, back in, turn hands, switch sides, rotate, bent press. Let it fall out, swing, switch hands, bent press, let it fall out, swing, switch hands, bent press. Okay, now that I've thoroughly examined this flow, let's do it. I'll be calling it out. We'll go for a full minute. Hopefully you were practicing along with me as I was trying to figure that one out. All right, 1 minute, let's put it on the clock, and we're gonna start in a front rack. So front racked on one side, let it fall from this side, and you're gonna swing it around. Hold it back into the body, cup the hands, switch the hands, keep turning with the body, fall into your bent press, come back up, and then we're gonna let it fall out again, and pull it in. Switch sides, turn, go into that bent press, let it turn out, pull it back in, cup the hand, switch, turn, bent press. Kettlebell falls down, rolls back in, cup the hand, switch sides, turn, and bent press. Kettlebell rolls out, back in, switch hands, turn, bent press. Last 10 seconds, kettlebell falls, pull it back in, turn hands, turn body, bent press. And that's our timer, and rest. Okay, whoo. We're gonna call out halfway through on our next round. it's going to be a little flowier when we're not talking about it as much. Because basically we're just going wham, 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 wham. Turn, change hands, turn, turn. We're turning side to side. Still confusing. I can't talk about it. I can only do it. All right, we're going to do it for talking 30 seconds, flowing on our own 30 seconds, 1 minute. Start in that front rack. We're going to let the kettlebell fall, clean it back in, turn the hands, turn the body, fall into that bent press, then let that kettlebell fall back out, turn hands, twist body, let the kettlebell fall out, change hands, twist the body into your bent press, let the kettlebell fall out, roll it in, roll it over, bent press. Now let's flow on our own. And bring it in to a rest. Does it feel a little better without talking about it? Just being able to go side to side. That twist when you're changing sides, so you've changed the kettlebells, change sides, it works right into that bent press. So when I change the kettlebell to change sides, I keep twisting with my body into my bent press and then come out into that rotation again. So I rotate in and rotate out. Makes sense in my head. When I put it down on paper or use words today, it's not working. I hope it's working for you. All right, last set. I'm just gonna call it 1 time each side. Hopefully we're good with this one. All right, front rack. Start with that rotational swing, but letting it fall instead of punching it out. Then switch hands. Keep twisting, bent press, and then same thing again. Let it roll out, switch hands, bent press. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Oh boy. Well, for me, when I'm doing it, I feel like I'm getting that good side to side. I'm twisting side to side with my flow. Hopefully you're able to feel that as well. All right. It's time to start cooling it down. Let's keep our kettlebells close by just in case we want them for some of our hamstring stretches that we're going to be doing. Start by taking it down to the mat. Here we go, goblet style. Very bad. Some days be like this. Here we go. Is it good? Good enough. Good enough for me. Okay. I'm gonna have my sound off because I'm done with that. Okay. Have those kettlebells up by your hands underneath your shoulders, quadruped position. Dig in those toes, send the hips up and back into downward dog. Nice deep breath. And we're gonna lift up one heel, 3 legged dog, hips level. Bring the knee forward into the chest. Plant it into a low lunge, and this time we're going to come up onto our kettlebell handles. Front shin is nice and straight. Pull that front hip back so hips are straight. Shoulders nice and low. Back is activated. We're going to push up and back through the front leg. keeping the hips straight, stretching that front hamstring, softening the knee. You can bring that knee back down to the ground. If you want to come off your kettlebells for that hamstring stretch again, but low. Stretching out the front leg. And bringing it back up, hands to the floor on either side of your foot, lifting up the back leg, sending it back into a downward dog. And doing the other side, three-legged dog. Knee forward, planting it in a low lunge. Coming up onto our kettlebell handles, shoulders low, back straight. Excuse me. And pushing back through that front leg, stretching out the hamstring, keeping the back straight, hips straight, softening the knee, pushing back again. You can take the hands off the kettlebells. Straight hips, straight back, low shoulders. And walk it back forward, hands on either side of your foot, lift up the back knee. Send it back into downward dog. Come up onto your tippy toes, curling your toes under, stretching out the top of your foot. And from your quadruped position, you're going to lift up your hip out to the side, stretch out the leg, slide it. So you get a good little stretch on your inner thigh, keeping your back straight. And we're going to rock forward and back, keeping. You want to round the back, keep your back nice and flat. Push that foot out there, the one that's out there, push that down into the ground. Nice active flexibility. And you can slide that leg in. We're going to do the other side. Now you really can't see me. Now you just see my butt. There we go. Lifting up and out to the side, stretch it out, push it down into the floor, slide it until you get a good stretch. And we're going to start the forward back. Pushing that foot right there into the ground. And holding. Push, 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 push. And coming up out, slide that foot in. We're going to roll over onto our back. Laying it down nice and flat. You can hug the knees into the chest. Wow. I just should not have tried a new camera angle. And you can take your knees into a big circle. Any direction you like, because we'll just switch direction so we go both ways. And then finally, slide your hands to your ankles. Take a nice happy baby, and if you like, kick out those legs, ninja baby. Excellent. And knees back into the chest. You can roll over. And thank you for showing up for class today. So I was a little confused on one of those flows, but ish happens. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. We have dumbbell kettlebell lift and flow tomorrow instead of animal flow. And if you have a band, we're going to be doing band work. So we would like something that is a loop. And honestly, get something that is light. We don't need anything, like even this might be a little bit intense. I would use the lightest one you have, and then keep a medium one close by just in case you want it. Always better to start lighter, and most of the stuff I have, you don't need a lot. So if you don't have a band, it's fine. All the exercises we're gonna do can be done, bandless. But yeah, if you have a band, it's going to increase the intensity of the workout. So, see everybody tomorrow for